3 months. So, Aicy indeed. So he's going to be boosting his house out, and looks like he's going to be going for the Marian build. Let's see. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. He's not decided himself yet. He doesn't know what he wants to go for. But he's had time to decide, and it is just going to be a single proxy here. Alright. And this is proxy barracks? What's he going for? Oh, he's going to scout what his opponent's doing and then make his mind up. This is super weird. Alright. No, it will be barracks behind this. And he's just going to annoy Jibs a bit, slow his barracks down a little bit. So they should be roughly aligned. And I agree with barracks on this map. With such a small map, the barracks is a lovely safe choice that also allows you to be a little bit aggressive. And this is a matchup I don't think we've seen this matchup since the old 1.8, 1.7 patches, where it used to just be one racks all the time. But it's gonna be interesting. Gonna be interesting indeed. I think Jibs possibly comes out ahead here, just because his micro has generally been pretty good and his decision making is impeccable. Well, with the exception of when he ran in when he shouldn't have done in the last game. But we've seen him do so well time and time again on Crimson Woods. I actually wish I had numbers on it, because I think he's basically never lost on Crimson Woods. Like, this is just one of those maps that he basically doesn't lose on. He's in his comfort zone here. Now, for those of you who are relatively new, relatively recent to sort of playing Little War Game, Aicy he's been around a long time, so I'd like to call him a veteran, but he's not been in a lot of tournaments, so he's pretty new to that. And we sort of spoke to Shadow after the match, and obviously nerves got to him a little bit, despite it sort of how well he played. So that could be a factor for Aicy coming back into tournament life here. It could be that the nerves are going to get to him a little bit. Jibs obviously is going to be super comfortable playing in tournaments. Like, there's nothing that's going to phase him at this point. Aicy, I believe, is something like rank 9, I think, in the world ranking, somewhere around there, 9 or 10. Whereas Jibs is obviously ranked 3, so theoretically, again, Jibs is favoured. But as much as I trot those statistics out every time I think a matchup's going to go one way or the other, I've been proved wrong. Yummy Blah Blah slammed through his games, and he wasn't exactly favoured, so Jibs is going to have to pull back. He doesn't want to lose that unit just yet. And he's actually going to go for the expand here. Whereas it's going to be a 2 racks all in from Aicy. Personally, I like this decision here from Jibs. Normally, on a small map, it's kinda dicey. But with Wolves Den being added, you can very quickly throw down the extra backup if you need it. And the extra economy is going to be pretty darn important. The other big thing is on this map, like, despite being a small map, you can actually just defend your entire choke here. Just like with your army sat in one place. And there we go. Aicy not going to do anything about it. He's staying at home. And Jibs is going to get a nice economic lead in the first game of this set. This is obviously a best of 3. We're not using best of 5 until the grand finals, which will be the game after this set. Not after this, after the next set. We're casting this one bronze match and then winners match, and then going straight into casting losers round 1 with, I believe, M-Boy. I want to say, actually I can't remember. We'll check that in a minute, because Aicy is going to go straight into this. He's got a lot of soldiers in this mix, but they're not engaging very well. They will get us around here on Jibs' soldier, though. Jibs' other soldier way back in the back. So there's a lot of free DPS here for Aicy. This is a pretty nice start. Jibs managed to save the worker at the back, but that will get picked off there by the rifleman. Jibs in a horrific position. Like, you don't want to get pinned up against the wall with their soldiers. Aicy's going to back off for a second here. I've got to stop calling him Aicy. And he will hold on for now, but that was an engagement he really did not want to go that way. Jib's going to start to turtle up in the middle of the map, and Aicy making a questionable decision. I don't think Forge is the right choice here. You're already spending, like, pretty much all of your gold on these two barracks. Like, with the Forge, sure, that's nice, but you're not gonna have anything else. Like, you're not gonna have those defensive towers, you're not gonna have, like, the extra economy. Aicy's gonna try and get in on top of this tower before it completes, though, and he has a lot of soldiers in this mix. There's a huge amount of units. Jibs might actually go down here. The first soldier of Jibs is basically going to go down already. The tower is going to deflect this, though, and Aicy decides he can't take this fight. I'd like to see him try and counterattack through these back rocks. I really wish we had actual rocks. I don't know why we don't yet. It wouldn't be very hard to just add an NPC with a health bar, but not quite on the priority list. But with double unit production against just single barracks? Ooh, Jibs might actually lose a worker here. He's going to go for the scout and see if he can work out what's going on, because this is a lot of units. There we go. Oh, Jibs. No, the riflemen are going to back off and leave him alone. He's going to go in and scout no expansion, so he knows he has to turtle up. +1 armor is on the way, and that's actually a lovely decision. I really agree with that one. With the rifle-heavy style that Jibs has gone for, soldiers, well, and for that matter, riflemen, are gonna just take forever to die. And the reinforcements will then be able to get there. There we go, he's gonna go through those back rocks now. Going through those fairly quickly with that many riflemen. And Jibs has no like, his towers are all out here to defend the main entrance. But there's nothing here in the natural to actually deal with this. He might be able to run through in time. Actually bring up his vision. There we go, he sees it. He has half a second to throw down the house. It's not going to be time. He's not going to get there. He's going to try and come and make this engagement, and he's got to be feeling like a bit of a... Oh, I don't know what he's feeling like, but it's not going to be good. He's got the extra economy, however. He is 7 workers up, so he can afford to trade away a few of those. But Aicy's going to be in a lovely position here. He can just take the soldiers into this choke. The workers are never going to get us around. There we go. He'll hold position those at the front. And Aicy doing a fantastic job here. He's actually going to try and take out the house, which is pretty nice, just to try and supply block his opponent. But Jibs is already on top of it. He's building another house over on the left-hand side. And the armor upgrade is still about 20-30 seconds away from completion. Jibs is only 5 workers ahead right now. And he's behind a lot of units. He could actually go down on this map that we were praising him so much for doing so well on earlier. The soldiers of Jibs are all in the back of this army. They're not in the front where they should be. The tower completes, and that's going to do a lot of damage here. The workers get pulled as well to deal with this. The surround comes in from Jibs, so that's pretty nice. He will be able to clean up these soldiers. The tower actually doing a huge amount of work here for Jibs. Aicy still with no second base, so really, if Jibs can hold on, if he can use this economic lead, if he can use the fact that eventually his opponent's going to mine out, yeah, in like 2,000 more gold, so it will take a while, like probably about 4 or 5 minutes, but at that point Aicy is going to be like completely scuppered. Jibs can just turtle with his extra gold, and he needs to get something done. He's going to try and take out this tower in the middle of the map, which he should be able to get, but that will do some damage. And Jib's going to use it for supporting fire. Aicy's going to try and take this fight here. He's going to focus fire in on the rifleman. One goes down. Second one's going to get picked off in quick succession here. The third one's going to go down. The works are getting pulled, but they're way too far behind. Jib's losing his entire army in this engagement. And buying time does not appear to have worked for him. He's once again 7 workers ahead. But he needs to convert that into something. Like, I don't know whether he wants. He's getting second barracks now, and I think he really should have got another set of wall stands already. He's going to try and turtle up with these towers, but Aicy's having none of it. The riflemen are all getting focus fire down the back. They're not going to be able to do anything. Jibs is in so much trouble. Like, there's just units all over his, like, base right now. Well, not all over his base, but all over his defending units. The second tower will complete, though, and that's going to make it a lot more difficult for Aicy to do anything. But more workers are going to get picked off here. Aicy is going to take a couple of extra hits. You can see Jibs went from, like, basically, like, 7 workers ahead down to just, like, 1 worker ahead. He can replace them faster than his opponent. His opponent has +1, nearly +2. Sorry, nearly +1/+1. And it's going to be close. If Jibs can buy the time, he'll be okay. But right now, Aicy hasn't let him. He hasn't let him buy time, at least not cheaply. He's made him pay for this second base. And looks like he's going to try and go to his top side here, take out more workers and take out this tower. You can see Jibs is slowly bringing his worker count back up, but obviously that costs a fair whack of gold. There's actually a 15 supply versus 30. He just has... He literally has no army supply right now. Like, this is going to be basically all in workers versus this army from Aicy. I think Aicy's going to do it here. He's going to march on into the natural base. There's only 1 tower here to defend, so that's not going to be enough. Workers getting focus fire down. 1 goes down. Second one not going to go down. Aicy's going to choose to focus fire the tower down instead. And Jibs has nothing he can do against this. He's got nothing. Another worker's going to get focus fired down here. Jibs is ahead in workers, but that basically doesn't mean anything at the moment. And he's looking like he's going to lose that second base. Aicy now taking his second base. Happy that he's done easily enough damage. And Jibs is just dancing his rifleman here. He says GG. And Aicy is gonna take that game. Really, really nice showing from him there. 2 base all in, taking down the Titan in game 1. We'll get the second map out of Jibs here. Alright, it's going to be Warway for the next game. So Aicy's asking for just a second. Let's actually just use this to check. Warway, Crimson Woods, Winter. Oh, the Wall. Okay, that's the map that's not getting played today. Yeah, the Wall, it's not an awful map, but it's just very unpopular for various reasons. So, it's the one we've not been seeing. Wow, Twitch chat is certainly got a set of opinions. I'll have to read through all of that later. Let's switch up the music again, keep it exciting. Dropped down to about 14 Twitch viewers, so it's a little bit of a shame. It's nice to have all 20 of you in here with us, but I understand that not everyone can watch the whole thing. And it's going to be game 2 of Jibs versus Aicy. Aicy 1 game up and in the blue trunks, and I actually didn't update that, so we will actually just quickly update that for you. There we go. Then the top, sorry, up in the top right hand side, going for basically the same build as his opponent, it is going to be the Titan Jibs. Now, I know this week has basically been the week of upsets. Like, we saw Kyrus take out Jibs, we've seen Venny go down to Marion and then to Afterstar, and it's been crazy. So many upsets recently. But I think it's gonna be a pretty big one if we see Jibs go down again to Aicy. Aicy is a really good player, but Jibs has just previously been showing such a strong performance that my money is still on Jibs. One game down, my money is still on Jibs. I think he can take this set. But it is going to be 1-Rax versus 1-Rax again to start. Will we see another 2-Rax all in? Or even like a 1-Rax 2-Den all in from either player? Not yet. Both players just looking to go for the 1-Barracks, and that's fair enough. This is a bit of a longer map. It's a little bit riskier to go for any sort of all in here. So, no, both players just choosing to play it safe. Barracks Expand is basically the safest build in the game right now. Like, you basically just can't get safer than that. Like, it deflects most wolf all-ins, it's relatively safe against most cheeses, it sort of sets you up fairly well for versus dragons. It's a very solid opening. So, the winner of this weekly tournament, I believe, if my schedules are right, will obviously win a game from our selection, and we'll be hoping to get some more in a couple of weeks to pad that selection out a little bit. But more importantly, at least in my opinion, the winner of this does get a whole stack of rank points. I think it's about 8 this week, because it's a weekly rather than anything else. I think it's only monthly that's different. Yeah, monthly 16, pretty much everything else is 8 points. So that's going to be pretty important in setting you up for Season 2, and making sure you have enough points to get a nice high seed and do well there. So once again, same soldier versus rifleman matchup, and Aicy is gonna back off. Jib's using that spacing then to just retreat home. His rifleman will join him, and that's going to be a nice start to his mid game, or mid fight, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Jib's expansion is a lot earlier though. What is Aicy up to? I don't know whether his just build is timed out wrong, or what's going on. Is Jibs behind in... no? Jibs isn't behind in units. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there that allows Jibs to have the extra gold. But Aicy... oh, I'm going to keep messing that up, I do apologize. Aicy will throw down his second base now, but it's going to be a long way behind. Like, practically a full minute behind his opponent. And I expect off this 1-Barracks, like, especially with the worker now starting, that Jibs is going to go into basically just a barracks heavy push with upgrades, possibly into mages. But we have seen people grab a quick fort. I'd be surprised though, I would be expecting barracks heavy play from both players. Jibs is actually going to come down and get a nice little scout off. So it's really useful for him just to work out what is going on. And Aicy is going to do this little push forward, but he doesn't have enough units, and we'll probably lose a couple actually if he overextends too far. Nope, he's going to see this back off immediately, and won't lose anything at all. Jibs, however, actually getting into the main base of his opponent. Gonna see what he can find out. Aicy Aicy's actually going to go for that tower in the front. So possibly feeling a little bit nervous here. We said in the last game that he's not experienced in tournaments as much, and that may come into it. But his unit count is pretty similar, and that basically gives Jibs a free forge. Like, obviously he's got to spend gold to get the upgrades, but not having to build a tower is great for Jibs. Gets a full scout on the main base, and Aicy should hold position? Nope, okay. No fancy micro from him today. He's gonna grab his... He does cancel the tower and grabs his own forge though. I guess from just seeing... What did he see? Didn't see anything, didn't even see the expand. But I guess he saw that there weren't enough units really to be doing a 2-racks all in. So, that's pretty good for him. Being able to cancel that tower is great. Working out that there's no sort of second racks behind it is really useful. Jibs, of course, will see the switch up. We'll see the forge going down instead. And he will lose a worker, but the faster base means he's already 2 workers ahead anyway, so he doesn't really care. So far, Jibs has set himself up really nicely. Being able to skip out and grab the forge faster, getting the upgrades slightly faster, as well as having the slightly better economy, is going to put him in a nice position. Obviously the economy will even out if no one grabs a 3rd base just yet, but it will allow him to grab quite a few upgrades on top of everything. He's actually going... That's really greedy. He's so confident in what he's seen that he's actually going to go for 2 forges before a 2nd barracks. What's Aicy going to do? I guess he doesn't have enough money for anything else just yet. Jibs is about 300 gold ahead, so that explains why Aicy can't quite afford anything else. Jibs actually stopping worker production though, which is kind of surprising. He's not capped out on his workers yet, and he has allowed Aicy to actually get ahead. I don't know whether it's a mistake or intentional just so he can get these extra upgrades. But he really does want to be keeping up with those. He's got to get up to his max saturation if he wants enough gold. And my music just... Okay, apparently my speakers just killed themselves there. That was a little bit weird. So Ace is going to come see what he can find. And his upgrade is going to be a little bit faster. Jibs is actually 3 workers behind. He's got to remedy this. I don't know why he's not. I guess he's just trying to go with the greedy play. Maybe he's timed the build out right. That he doesn't need... Like, that he only needs, like, 17 workers for 2 forges, 2 racks. But I'd be surprised. You want the extra gold so you can transition. Just keeping an eye on this extra base, and you will actually see as soon as this starts mining. But you won't just see it just yet. Aicy trying to get the scout off as well. He sees basically nothing. He still doesn't confirm the base. He does see a tower that go down fairly out in the map. That's a bit of a strange position. I mean, it obviously helps support this location and a 3rd, but it doesn't really commit to protecting either. And Jibs now will see that 3rd base. So we'll have to make a decision about what he's going to do. Obviously they're even on upgrades right now. So Jibs will probably wait until he gets that upgraded advantage. Okay, he's going to cancel the tower and grab the 3rd base, but it is a long way behind. Yeah. So, as I said, it's going to be barracks heavy with upgrades this game. Weirdly enough, not following the trend of everybody else going for sort of wolves and dragons. The composition from Aicy, though, actually, they're fairly similar. I think Aicy's gone slightly more soldier heavy than Jibs has, which I like. Jibs making an unusual choice of unit. He's actually going to be going into the workshop. So obviously that's great for busting down towers, and it's decent against bases. Like, it doesn't have a great amount of DPS, but it's decent. But it's a pretty unusual pick. Like, normally everyone goes mages or they go dragons. Nobody usually grabs the tier 3 choice of a workshop. But, hey, if he can make it work. I would much rather see him go into Flame Strike mages, though. Aicy is going to grab a second forge himself, going to try and keep up on his upgrades. He is one upgrade behind, and the attack is going to even up. Jibs is checking the composition and sees a lot of soldiers and amongst those riflemen. So, I don't know. I think this is a bad set of decisions from Jibs. Having the sort of low soldier count is going to be a pain if you actually... Oh, he does actually cancel the workshop. Jibs maybe being a little bit indecisive here. Maybe he's listening to me on stream, but he wouldn't follow my advice. But Aicy soldiers are going to be able to pick up catapults so well. Like, catapults just melt under the fire soldiers. Like, it's not even funny. The upgrades are slightly in Jibs' favour. Just a little bit. And I don't know what is with players today, but everyone playing super passive games. I wonder if this is the new meta. Everyone sits in their base afraid to attack, but there's no reason you can't counterattack. Like, especially on this map, like with this long corridor, you send what, 3-4 riflemen in, park here, deny this mining. As soon as anything shows up, you just run all the way back down here, and they're completely safe. So this map has really good third base harassment, which I'm super surprised no one's taking advantage of. So everyone just playing super duper passive. I'm assuming both players are going to head for like a good composition that they want, max out on upgrades at least to like 3 or 4, and then try and go from there. Aicy's going to break open and try and grab his next base, which possibly a little bit early. I'm not sure he really needs that just yet, but it looks like he is going to go. He's basically going to try and trade armies, I guess. He's going to get the economy that he can just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. But right now, Jibs' 3 base is looking a little bit better. There we go. There's the Mages Guild. Where is it? There it is. Aicy's. I hope he's going for Flame Strike. I mean, heal on soldiers would be really good if he's going soldier heavy. But I think Flame Strike to pick up the rifle is the better choice, in my opinion. But looks like right now everyone's just trying to scout each other out, see what's going on. But nobody gonna commit. Everyone's saying no, you first, and it's a little bit frustrating. It's a lot more exciting when I get to commentate the big battles, and I'm sure there's someone in Twitch chat telling me right now that the game is dead and the meta sucks. Jibs needs to realise this extra base is here though. Like, I don't think he's not seen it. He doesn't even know these rocks are down. So that will allow Aicy to get in a good economic position. He's getting mages on the way now. But they do want their spell. What's it going to be? What spell are you going to go for, Aicy? Aicy? There we go. This is going to be Fireball. I do agree with that choice. Heal spell is good, but I think Fireball is just that slightly bit better. I guess it depends on the composition. Heal spell is going to be better with Dragon. And Jibs finally bunching up. He's going to go for it. This is a lot of soldiers. 20 soldiers versus only 10. He's actually got a really... I'm not sure how he managed to do it. Because it's 4 racks versus 4 racks. But you've basically actually got an extra 10 soldiers on top of Aicy's army. And it's going to be +2/+3 versus +2/+2. And the next set of upgrades is actually going to kick in just a second for both players, so all in all, this is pretty good. I've got to assume he's going for the 3rd base and not the 4th. He doesn't know the 4th is here yet. And these mages aren't going to have Fireball in time. So Aicy's investment, it's not going to pay off in the engagement if the engagement comes in. There we go, the soldier's going to scout the 3rd. Jibs is going to split and get set up. Possibly looking to counterattack from both sides, maybe? That's going to be pretty good. He's setting up for the surround right now. Fireball is about a minute away. The mages, there is actually, what, 5 mages with another 2 on the way? So if Jibs lets this happen, like if he lets the mages get their Fireball, he could get absolutely destroyed here. He has no answer to this AoE. He's getting his own Mages Guild. It's getting close. I think Aicy might actually get the Fireball in time. There we go. Jibs is going to go for it now. His army's not quite in sync for this engagement. There we go. He's going to go in now. He doesn't see. There we go. Now he sees the mages. The Fireball is super close to completing though, so he's got to make sure he splits well. All the soldiers of Aicy are on the left-hand side in a choke. So Jibs is actually going to take the better engagement on the right-hand side. All these soldiers are going to get in on top of these units. Fireball finishes in about 4 seconds though, and that might make the difference, but these mages are going to get picked off. Jibs takes off 1 full health one, he sees the first Fireball land, but these mages are in an awful position. There's nothing for them to hit. There we go, they're going to try and hit the first sort of soldiers, but Jibs splits. More Fireballs are going to land, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Jibs still, with 26 soldiers, is going to steamroll this. Aicy says GG, and we will be going to the next game. Alright, let's get the next game of Aicy. Oh, Aicy actually going to pick the wall. Yeah, pretty unfortunate engagement for Aicy there. Like, Jibs' pre-split was good, but like, what, 5-10 seconds later, and Aicy just fireballs the lot and wins. I really think he should have backed up there. But Jibs did have a ridiculous amount of soldiers. So Jibs is going to ask for 20 seconds. Okay, and never mind, because we're going into it for the first time today. We're going to be playing on the wall, and it's going to be Aicy in the blue trunks. Aicy, even, I can't believe I screwed that up, but it is going to be Aicy in the blue trunks, and it looks like it's going to be a 6 expand out of him. Jibs, the Titan himself, 1-1 against Aicy. Aicy, gonna keep messing that up for all time. I've just known too long as Aicy. So Jibs is looking to be aggressive here. He's already throwing down the house, and looks like Aicy is going to go for the fast expand. But the issue is, you can take the fast expand here, but with these 2 chokes and all this high ground, it's quite difficult. It's not impossible, but it is pretty difficult to hold. But obviously if you can, you're in a great position. Let's just make sure that overlay is all sorted. I'll be pretty surprised if Jibs loses this set. was surprised enough that he lost the first game, but he should be able to make the 2-1 comeback and move on into the finals. Obviously, he would like all those lovely points. The thing is, this is going to be pretty important for him, because with Veni, I believe, actually just out of the tournament, he basically has the opportunity with this sort of 8-point. If he can grab those 8 points, I believe that actually puts him in rank 1 for like the entire world, if he can secure those. So it is a fairly big deal. He does like that rank 1 title when he can claim it. He's been battling with Volt and with Veni on and off for the right to that title. And Aicy's going to scout this. He's going to see the 1 racks expand. Not sure about this build on this map. Obviously it's safe, but the greedier fast expand is probably going to put you in a better position. Like, the map's long enough that it doesn't really... You're not going to do a huge amount. The tower should be able to defend this. But we'll see. This is Jibs. Aicy actually with the tower in a great position. Normally it's quite difficult to defend both these areas, but you should be able to defend it pretty nicely with that placement. So clearly fairly prepared for this particular map, knowing it was going to be in the map pool. And Jibs is now going to expand. So this expansion is only really about a minute and a half behind. But that little difference, it makes a difference. The thing is, Jibs has to take so long to march basically all the way through the center of the map here. This tower's going to complete before his soldier gets in. And I think he can probably park in this corner maybe. But really, this pressure is not going to do anything. Aicy's just going to deflect it with the tower. And apparently I'm being messaged by a Frenchman. I'm not sure what this whole France deserves more respect thing is. I've seen it a lot recently and someone will explain it to me. I'm sure there's probably some Reddit or 4chan thing that I've just completely missed out on. So Jibs is setting up. He's going to have scouting because his opponent moves out on the right hand side, but I really think he doesn't want to invest anything more into this. Like, it's a cute way to deny scouting, and he might be able to put a tiny bit of pressure on. But all in all, it's just going to put him further behind to try and invest in this rather than tech. Workers are going to be pulled to try and deal with this, but he might actually pick 1 or 2 off. The soldier's going to be pretty helpful here, but he can just rotate workers. So a little bit of damage done here, but nothing really to the level that Jibs needs to bring that back. You can see the gold is fairly even, but this aggression at the moment is mostly just wasted. I think he's basically going to save up and try and see if he can bust that tower down. His opponent did go for Forge before Barracks. So he might be able to bust the tower down or at least pick up a bunch of worker kills. But I don't know. I don't like this position just yet from Jibs. He's actually going to throw down a house. So a couple of strange decisions from Jibs here. We've seen this a lot quite recently actually, that top players are not quite as good as they used to be. We've seen a lot of really good up and comers who just seem to be putting them on tilt. So Jibs can obviously keep pecking away at this, but with 1 worker repairing, that's never going to die. And Jibs right now just hasn't set anything up to transition out of this. Like, he might try and bust this in a minute. And he is actually going to proc 2 workshops, so that's pretty cute. But the +1 upgrade is going to be done in not too long. And actually, so like they're going to sit on high ground here and just completely deny this. There's no way you can pressure. There you go, it's going to sit up on the high ground. Jib's just got to react to this actually. He doesn't want to lose this unit. There you go, we'll back up now. So with this high ground, Aicy is going to be in a great position just to defend this. The workshop is going to make the big difference though. That's going to allow him to burst down the tower and possibly even the base. I don't know. I don't yet like this from Jibs. I think possibly a second expansion behind it maybe would have done the trick, or even dragons. But he's going to go for it. Second rack's being dropped now behind this. Third rack's being dropped from Aicy, and his upgrades are going to kick in a minute. He's actually pulling workers. He's going to try and defend this and actually take this out right now. But that's not going to happen. There's too many units here from Jibs. This workshop is actually going to be completed. There's still a little while though for the catapult to get started. But I think Aicy might have enough stuff by then just to hold on. Like, he's going to have 3 barracks, he's going to have the +1, and he's got this tower. I think he could be in a good position. I would like to see him put more units on high ground. He needs to be up there to get vision and to deny like any pressure. You will actually see the tower go up. The Tower of Jibs is possibly a little bit close. He should get on this high ground. He needs to get on this high ground and deny this tower from going up whatsoever. But looks like he's going to try for the counterattack. Not really sure I agree with that one. And this catapult's going to finish. So Jibs gave Aicy all the time he needed to do something about this. And he's going to go for the counterattack. He might do some damage. And he'll at least clean up the reinforcement waves. But that's a trade for basically most of his army. This tower's going to go down fairly quickly here, or at least force yet more workers to mine this. I think Jibs should really just push now. But he's going to try and put on as much pressure as he can with the catapults, get a second one out. And there we go. Tower's going to go off back at Jibs' base. Riflemen are here to defend, and I don't know how much counterattack how much damage this counterattack is going to do here from Aicy. He might get the odd worker kill or two, but the second catapult's out now. That's going to put a huge amount of pressure on Aicy. He might hold on. He might be able to. The counterattack in the natural base, though, is desperately trying to do some damage, but the tower's complete now. The sword on the rifleman here, that gets absolutely cleaned up. I think that basically did some 0 damage. Jib's actually not quite built enough workers to fully saturate this base. Possibly a little bit of a mistake here from him. But with these 2 catapults now, like Aicy's struggling to repair like this tower enough. He will just about hold on now. Oh no, he's going to stop repairing, and third catapult's on the way. Aicy basically returns with the last few units, and will actually pick up a few units in the middle here. He will pick up 2 soldiers and a rifleman, so that's pretty nice. But oh, nice, gets another shot on that son. but there's so much pressure on Aicy right now. I don't know how that catapult missed. But there we go. The engagement's being forced now. Jibs is being forced to back off because the soldiers can't be allowed to get on top of these catapults. Jibs actually forcing the artificial choke point here with the house. The first catapult will go down though. Jibs is possibly out of position here. Aicy with a beautiful surround here from both sides will pick up all the catapults that were putting pressure on him. And he is actually going to back off. He's not going to go for this, which I really don't know about that decision. He'd think he's got enough soldiers to do this. But the biggest thing, he's got +2 upgrades. He absolutely can shut this down for Jibs. Well, as far as I'm aware. Jibs is going to try and take the fight underneath this tower though, so that's going to help him out a little bit. The catapult in behind is going to try and do some work, but it's not really hitting anything just yet. And Jibs is going to continue this containment. But it's going to be there's going to be +2, +1 in a second here for Aicy. Jibs doesn't have the army advantage anymore. He doesn't have the production advantage. He doesn't have the upgrade advantage. He's in trouble. He needs to do something to give himself a lead in this game again. But right now he's not getting it. He is going to step forward and try and do some damage. And the second tower will go up, so he's going to try for the contain here. The soldier's going to run forward once again. But yeah, as I said earlier, Aicy's now up on the high ground. Jibs can't retreat to his lower choke. He's just going to take extra damage. And this is going to be such a pain for him. Jibs is basically trapped in a rock and a hard place. Oh, some nice worker picks though. Will get 5 workers ahead, and the catapults are going to do a bit of damage. The focus fire from the tower isn't great, and Jibs will get taken out here. A rifleman on the high ground doing so much work though for Aicy. Absolutely the turning point in this game, I think, is that high ground to try and clear this up. The tower, it's actually doing a lot of work though. But there we go, 3 more riflemen for Aicy. Jibs is going to attempt to keep the pressure on here, but I really don't know. Like, I don't think Jibs is anymore in a good position. When he first started this, he was in a good position, but now he's just so far behind in just everything. He's going to try and make this work though. The worker tries to get some repairs in on the catapult, but that's possibly not going to be enough. The soldier's on top of it. There we go. It goes down. The riflemen are going to pick off that worker. The 2 towers are going to do enough damage to allow Jibs to stay here for the moment. But this is so expensive for him. And the longer this goes on, the better the upgrades get for Aicy. And the easier and easier it's going to be for him to hold. Jibs actually with nearly 300 gold banked up, so I'm not sure whether that's a production cycle missed or whether he's looking to go into something else, but we'll see. He might actually be able to take out this natural base. If he can do that, that's a pretty big deal. 300 gold plus on the mining time lost could give him back the game. But the issue is these upgrades. He has no answer to them. Catapult shot once again misses. Aicy's going to come in and try and pick off this tower. The soldier's in a great position actually just to pick this off. There we go, 1 tower goes down. This is really difficult. Aicy needs to pull more repairing workers though, and he's going to try and do that now. The soldiers are getting in on top of these riflemen though, and a lot of them have no health. Aicy's doing really well against this pressure just to force it away, and making some great decisions in amongst the tense situation. Jibs once again is going to try and sort of kite these soldiers back, and we'll pick that off. But once again, pretty much even rifleman count. It's basically going to go in Aicy's favour. Aicy actually putting the low health rifleman up to this cliff, which is a great choice. That's going to make it really hard for Jibs. He's not going to be able to stand here for free and put pressure on this. He's going to try and throw down another tower once again at the front of this base. I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen a workshop here from Aicy to put a thing on the high ground or even a tower. But there we go. The soldiers are going to come in. They're going to try and take out the catapult once again. More gold being lost here for Jibs as he attempts to put this pressure on. And he's done damage, don't get me wrong, but I don't think this damage has been worth it yet. Like, he's ahead in workers, but he's not got anything behind this. As soon as this pressure fails, like, if it does, then, like, his army is never going to be able to compete. He doesn't have mages or any similar tech. He's going to use this catapult once again, though, to try and put pressure on this second base. But without that tower at the top, and with so few riflemen here, I don't know. The focus fire from Jibs is a little bit lacking, though. He's not actually managed to pick off those low health riflemen. There we go. One goes down. The second one goes down. The soldiers, though, are absolutely cleaning this up. The production from Jibs is pretty good. He's got 4 barracks running for this. But +2/+2 is done for Aicy. Like, I feel he can just send, like, 2 soldiers at a time. And just do some... Oh, Jibs is actually down to 1 base. I hadn't actually realised that. So, this is actually pretty dire. There we go. Aicy actually mines out of his main. So, this is possibly going to put players in an all-in scenario here. Aicy is actually going to go pick off more reinforcing units at the top-hand side. There we go. Like I said, counter-attacking where he can. Jibs sees the weakness, though, and he's going to go in. He's going to try and do as much damage as he can. But bear in mind, all of these workers for Aicy have +2/+2 versus 0/0. So if it comes down to an all-in, like, it's even further in his favour, just because he's got so many, like, extra upgrades coming into his workers. And he's actually going to set this up for the surround. The workers pulling off to the left while soldiers are coming in from the right hand side. Jibs sees this with his riflemen. Aicy's going to go. Jibs actually setting up the lovely little natural choke here. He has been known to do that a lot. I'm surprised he's not walling off, but there you go. The workers are getting in on top of all these riflemen, though. They're not kiting back. The catapult's not really doing anything. And Jibs is losing basically everything right now. He's dropping down to 7 riflemen. He is ahead on workers, though, for one of the first times in this game, but the workers are going to clean this up. Jibs is going to be forced back, and his contain is going to finish here. He's also going to lose the catapult and his expensive workshop. Now, Jibs might choose to continue the pressure, but I think, well, he's going to have way more production than his opponent. He's going to have double the worker count, with, like, well, I guess he's only got the same amount of workers if they're both down their main base. But I think Jibs is just pulling yet more workers to try and force this, but I don't agree with that. He's down in upgrades. He's gonna go for it, though, and there's a lot of soldiers here from Aicy. This is pretty tense. I think Aicy's got the better position. I think Jibs just needs to take this opportunity. He's got 300 gold. Yeah, I think he agrees with me. I think he should just grab an expansion. Use the workers you've already got. Secure yourself a base ahead of your opponent, and then go for the pressure. Maybe even look into catching up with his upgrades that he's so far behind on. Aicy has left himself open on the left-hand side, though, for a counterattack. But he's producing like 3 units at a time, whereas Jibs is producing nothing but that extra base. So I think Aicy's in a good spot. What's the unit count? Yeah, the unit count is currently in favour of Aicy. Jibs is going to be able to... He should actually already pull these, in my opinion. Bring these down to this natural base. He's going to start up a forge and try and play from there. So we'll go once again into a little bit more of a slow period in the game. But this map is, especially for this third base, like you can counterattack through here, there's a wide ramp you have to defend here, and if they get up to this castle, like they can easily then just swing round between attacking up the front here and attacking down the bottom, with this huge open space for retreats. Looks like Aicy agrees with me, he's going to go for it, while Jibs is trying to tech up and grab those double forges. And I think this could be the opportunity he needs for the killing blow. The workers are going to come down on the right hand side. We'll see this base has only just really started mining. Right, Jibs actually needs to transfer. He's got 18 workers, but like 16 of them are up on this base. He needs to grab a chunk of these and move them down. Are they gaining anything from this third base? Aicy's going to come around on the south side, and I think he should be able to punch through here. There we go. Oh, the natural base is actually mined out. So, Aicy actually only on 70% mining, so he will have his natural base for a little while longer. But this just makes it all the more important for Jibs. He cannot lose this base. This is his only mining base. If this dies, he has no way of coming back into the game. There we go. He's going to try and take engagement on the left-hand side. The soldiers are not particularly useful in the tiny choke points around this base, but there's so many of them here. He's going to try and come in on the workers on the right, but these riflemen are making the engagement really difficult for him. There we go. Aicy dancing around a little bit. He's trying to get into a good position. There we go. He's going to try and take the engagement on the left-hand side with the rifleman and the soldiers on the right-hand side. Jibs is trying to hold position to prevent the full surround. And it looks like Aicy's struggling to really deal with that, but the soldiers are going to do so much damage. Jibs in a fantastic position on the left-hand side, managing to space out these soldiers, but the soldiers are now ripping through the workers of Jibs. Jibs is actually going to drop down to 15 workers now. Rapidly, that's going to fall away. The tower's going to do as much work as it possibly can, and might allow him to hold. But the upgrades are massively in favour of Aicy, and that's going to allow him to trade ridiculously well. The workers are trying to repair this tower for all their lives are worth. Jibs dropping down to 6 workers. Aicy might actually do it. He might take the 2-1 victory and actually go into the finals this week, which would be a fantastic showing for him in his first tournament back after his break. And right now, like, Jibs has no money. He's got +1 versus +1, +2, +2. Like, he's not got enough money for units. He's not got enough money for workers. He's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble. Aicy's going to keep reinforcing this. And he's still got a fair chunk of gold left in his base. I actually don't know where the rest of his workers are. There we go. He's going to go in once again. Jibs has got a nice position here with these riflemen, but the soldiers are doing a lot of damage, and they're taking so much punishment. Most of them have gone down, though. And it is going to be 8 versus 8. The riflemen of Aicy are going to try and do as much damage as they can, but a lot of these units are still in transit. They're not across the map just yet. Jibs' riflemen are actually just getting one shot just by this +2 attack pack of riflemen here, and I think this could be the end. There we go. The mine is getting denied on the third base. This is going to be it. There's nothing for Jibs left to do. He can't afford to do anything else. Dropping down to 14 supply versus 23. He's doing a good job of holding on, and the tower's doing work. But oh, Aicy says his sound's actually gone. I'm not sure what's up with Aicy. He does seem to get all of the bugs. Jibs actually doing a fantastic job. He's actually managed to hold on. I really thought he was just going to die there. He's trying to kite Aicy behind these behind the castle so the tower takes damage, but There's a timer on his head. If this castle goes down, that is it. Like, as much as I can say, oh, an engagement's going to do it, if the base is gone, he has no mining. Like, 0 mining. Aicy's only got 600 gold left on his base. But obviously, if he pulls workers, he's got more workers, he's got the +2/+2. Jibs needs to find a way out of this, but I don't think there is one. He's managed to replace a lot of workers, though. And he's held on fantastically, but here we go. Aicy's new wave of reinforcements is coming in. He's got so many units here, and it's going to be 30 supply versus a measly 17. The castle's taking so much damage, and the workers can't be pulled. There you go, Jibs is going to step forward again, trying to lure these units in front of the tower. But Aicy's having none of it. More reinforcements coming across on the left-hand side here. Let's just take a quick zoom in. So the castle's now dropping down to 500 health. The riflemen are trying to come in on the right-hand side to deal with this. But there's nothing here. Jibs can't reinforce, he's got no gold. He's trying to repair this tower as much as he can, but there's so much pressure. I would like to see Aicy focus fire the workers. There we go, he will actually pick another one off. One more worker goes down. Jibs says GG. And Aicy will go 2-1 against Jibs here.